What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to my very first video in 2023. Happy New Year's and hope everyone had an amazing holidays. I took a great vacation with a family, had the time to reset, but it's 2023 and we got to get right back to it. We got to hit it hard, make sure we accomplish our goals and do everything we set out for in 2023. So let's get to it and talk about what we're going to be doing. That is loud. Now, of course, you guys know we've got the C8 in the garage. We've got the Denali. We've got the Camry, which surprisingly a lot of people ask about. I posted a video talking about how the Camry is the best daily driver, and everyone's still asking today. Of course, with the economy the way everything is, you have to look for something that's going to be reliable, fairly economic, and basically be able to drive without investing more and more money into it. And this thing, it pretty much checks off all those tick marks. Now today, guys, we're going to be doing some general maintenance in the cars, and I'll also be talking to you guys about kind of what our goals and next steps are for 2023, so make sure to stick around for that. But we've got to do the oil change on the Camry. We've also got to change out the fog lights bulbs. I believe this side is basically gone out. We've also got to change out the wiper blades on this, and that's super simple. But first things first, to get all that done, we've got to take the C8 out of the garage. So got the truck out the way, we got the work truck out of the way. We've already placed the wipers, super easy. And there's a lot of stuff that I want to update you guys on the Denali, so hopefully we can do that in another video. But now let's give you guys the cold start on the Corvette. Man, I love the way this thing sounds from the factory. That mid-engine layout with the shorter exhaust actually does make it sound quite a bit louder than things like the Camaros with the same similar LT1 engine that I used to have. So really love that. Should we make this thing louder? I've really been contemplating and debating whether we should do some sport cats on this thing, maybe an exhaust. Comment down below, let me know. Alright, so cars are all moved out. Now we can put this thing in the garage. Now, I bought this car 5 years ago in 2018, and it has been probably one of the best car purchases in general in terms of its utility that I have made. Now this car I bought used with 60,000 miles on it, and in 5 years I've put another 60 to 70,000 miles on it. I believe it's at 125 or 130,000 miles now, so basically doubled the miles on it. And in that time I've only had to spend money on tires, brake pads, air filter, oil changes, and spark plugs once. That is insane, guys. This thing has been solid, and we've taken 20+ hour road trips in this thing. It's very comfortable, got plenty of space for a family. So I made a video 4 or 5 years ago talking about how this is one of the best daily drivers you can get, and 5 years later I still hands down believe this is one of the best bang for your buck cars. I paid $13,500 for this car back in 2018. Obviously prices have gone up like crazy since, so Now you'll probably find cars like this in the $15,000 to $17,000 range. If you're looking for something that's gonna be more economical, more reliable, there's hands down nothing better than this, and I'm sure prices will start coming back down. The Toyota Camry is hard to beat in terms of reliability and bang for your buck value, so definitely still recommend it 5 years later. All right, so we have got the car on the quick jack, so now we've got plenty of space to work on our oil change down here, and also with the tires kind of out of the way, it'll give us plenty of space to reach in behind and swap out those LED fog light bulbs. So pretty awesome, guys. Quick jacks, check them out. Really have saved me. I'm able to do all kinds of work on these cars. The whole bottom is completely clear, so you can do any exhaust work, do any kind of stuff that you want on these cars. So first things first is, of course, you need to have some type of oil, and I recommend pretty much any high mileage synthetic oil. Doesn't have to be Mobil 1, doesn't have to be anything crazy like that. And then secondly, once you have that, you will also need one of these. Now this is the oil filter, and you can see here the model number. It's a 04152YZZA1, and this is the oil filter that you need. This is a cartridge filter. I like to go with the genuine OEM Toyota filters. They seem to be the best ones and highly recommended. The next thing you're going to need is this right here, and this is the oil filter housing tool, to removal tool. And you see it's got a couple notches. So it's got a notch here, and that basically goes on the oil housing. So we've got that top filter plug off on the engine so it can drain better. Now we go under, and down here you'll see you've got the oil filter right there, which is a 3/8 ratchet. A little extension will help bring it down where you can ratchet it comfortably. And then back here is the oil pan, and that is the plug, and that's a 14mm bolt. Okay, so oil pan's been drained. There's still some more oil coming out, but it was a small drip. I went ahead and put the plug back on the oil pan, didn't tighten it, but just letting it collect more oil. Now it's time to move on to the filter cartridge. And something pretty cool about the cartridges, which kind of help you drain, is that you've got this cover here, and when you remove this cover, you're going to notice there is kind of like a port, like a little ball valve. That valve is to drain this cartridge before you remove the whole housing. And when you buy a new filter kit, guys, this is what you get. You're going to get this here, which is for that ball valve drain and lets you drain the whole housing. You get the actual filter, and of course you're going to get new O-rings for your housing so that you don't have any leaks. Doing an oil change can be a little messy, and of course these are probably not the right gloves to use because of the cotton. You're better off finding some just all rubber gloves. But we've got the cover off, and we've drained everything out of this here. There you see one of the seals that you'll be replacing. I've drained a little bit more of that. Now we can go ahead and remove the actual cartridge housing, which this is where we're going to use our special tool. As you see, you've got a notch right up here on the top side, and there's probably another notch down in the bottom side. So here we've got the actual cartridge, guys, and I'm still on the tool that you have to buy, and you can see here it's got one notch there and another notch here, and that's what allows you to spin this off of the car's housing. So we can put this tool off to the side, and this is what you get. Now I've gone ahead and actually replaced this with an aftermarket. The factory one is about a plastic one, I think, but the tabs can get brittle and actually crack, so I went ahead and replaced it with this aftermarket one. And you can see there's the second O-ring you're going to replace, and of course you've got the filter, which just slides out, and you can see it next to the clean filter. And then of course all we're going to do is kind of drain out the last remaining little bit of oil there, and good to go. Now this spring-loaded piece here can come off, but It's easy to put back in. There's some tabs on the bottom, so if this piece jumps off or falls off, don't get scared, you can put it back in. So we'll just drain that out, put the new filter in, replace the O-rings. And when you replace the O-rings, guys, make sure that you actually lubricate the O-rings with a little bit of your new oil. That'll help it kind of seal up and make sure it doesn't dry or, you know, crack or anything like that. And that's it, guys. Pretty quick, simple. Next things you're gonna have to do is just pour back in your 4.5 to 5 quarts of oil and check your oil level, make sure you didn't overfill, and bam, you are done with your oil change. Okay, so we finished with the oil change. Now you want to get rid of this here, that maintenance light that stays on. And typically you start seeing this maintenance light whenever you've getting close to about 4,000 miles, 5,000 mile range, and it'll start by flashing, and then eventually it will just stay solid like that. Now what you got to do is basically come here to from odometer and press the trip button till you get to trip A. Now you see here I went 6,000 miles before doing the oil change, and that is not too bad. Typically you want to do it every 5,000 miles, and that's what I strive to do, but at this point I was at 130,000, as you guys can see there. So I figured I'll start at 130 and go 135 and so forth. So we go to trip A. Now we're going to turn the car off. We're going to advance to the one click over. Then we're going to press the trip button here and hold it while we move the key forward once more to the accessory position. Okay, holding it, and you see the flashing lights, flashing, and bam, 0, 0. And next thing you know, your maintenance light is gone. Now, oil change is done. Time to get to these pesky fog lights. As you guys can see, this one is not working. We've got, of course, this one working over here. And I do have LED light bulbs on everything. Works pretty nice. Now, the fog lights we're going to use today, guys, are from Neo, and this is the 2nd gen. These are pretty crazy. As you guys can see, they're H11 LED bulbs, and these are supposed to be some of the brightest out there. So yeah, the ones that I've got on here are also Neo, the same brand, but these I believe were actually the 1st generation. So they've lasted me quite a while. I've had these on for over 4 years, so pretty good product. You can find it on Amazon, the Neo Gen 2. And I'm probably, depending on how the performance is on our fog lights, I might go ahead and get the next gen for my headlights, which are also the same brand and work amazing, give us a great output and visibility. But to get to these, you're gonna have to go and reach around the back here and get around this fender well. Not too difficult. We basically loosened up this clip here, which kind of bends this front fascia out, and I also removed this bottom kind of just hex here. You can use just a regular start bit, and then you can see in there is basically the bulb and the plug. So we remove those, swap it out, should be pretty easy, and basically repeat the same thing on the driver's side. Just like that, it's done. And just kind of a comparison, not sure if the camera's gonna be able to pick it up, but this one definitely feels and looks brighter than this one. Now, if when you plug it in, it doesn't turn on, guys, don't freak out. What you can do is unplug the connector from the factory harness to the bulb and flip it and try it that way. LEDs are one directional, so if it doesn't work one way, just disconnect it, flip the light bulb connection, and it should turn on. Gotta love these quick jacks. Easily just bring the car back down. So we're done with the Camry. Now, guys, comment down below, let me know what you guys want to see with the Stingray in 2023. Now, I don't know how much longer I have with it. It could be a couple months, it could be half the year, who knows, maybe it could be another year before my Z06 arrives. But in the meantime, what would you like to see out of this C8 Stingray? Hopefully you guys got a little glimpse of a little bit different, not performance, not anything like that, but just daily Camry stuff. Hopefully some of you guys find that useful. For the meantime, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully you guys have an amazing 2023. I can't wait. I have a lot of goals, a lot of plans, and I can't wait to hit all those marks. With that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.